Okay, where are we here? 8 o'clock. I see nothing that shows we're online. Wi-Fi, okay. Hi, Dave 1. What do you mean, Dave 1? Okay, I'm going to leave the computer where it is in a funny setting here. It's not showing at my normal bench. I'm going to go sit at my carving bench because this morning, for the very last time, we have with us again, ladies and gentlemen. And they're all like, oh, no, not again. You're on your way today, sir.
Yes. Last day in Japan. Going to the airport. Hi, guys. So Dave's going to carve. I'm Jed. I'm Dave's partner in crime and designer. Zilvin, that joke will never get old, so feel free to repeat it.
What's that?
Oh, he goes, Return of the Jed.
Soka.
How far are you on the design?
Well, I haven't done anything since we last saw it, right? Remember I was doing dog legs? What have I done?
How far are you on the design? Just the head left, right?
I'm going to do a paw right now, and then it's the dog's head, and then up to her head, so. And then clearing.
Studio Idiot, what crimes have you done lately?
Jed and I are responsible for many crimes against art.
I did actually almost commit a crime a month ago, and it wasn't out of malice. It was just out of freaking out in the moment. But
you're talking about a crime?
Yeah, I talked to the cop and we got it all worked out.
You're talking about here in Japan?
No, in the U.S. It was a stupid situation. Anyway, I'm not gonna.
You've teased us now.
No, I'm not gonna get into it though. It's a shameful moment in my past. We're all good.
You jaywalked.
No. Zilvian says, hearing and watching you two on the stream is both super entertaining as educational. Please don't let it be too long until the next time you do this.
That's your call, sir.
Alright, well, Zilvin, I've decided that I'm going to try to make it to Japan once per year for this foreseeable future. I think my schedule can handle that. Actually, I'm going to be back in a month and a half.
Well, that's right. You're here again anyway.
I forgot.
Right. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
That's all booked up, right?
Yeah. Yes, I haven't gotten a hotel yet. Oh, I gotta get a hotel. Gosh. I'll be at Tokyo Comic Con. And usually I try to, for foreign conventions, I just try to have somebody else do it for me because I really don't want to have to travel overseas for work too much. So last year I had Cameron, Dave's assistant Cameron, before he was officially with us, he went and worked Tokyo Comic Con in my stead. But this year the CEO and show floor runner of the convention said, so you're going to be there this year, right? You know, kind of implicitly demanding that I show up.
They want the real stars.
Yeah, I understand. So I said okay, and...
But are they giving you a good spot because of that?
They offered me two tables next to each other instead of just one, which I think is a little bit unheard of, perhaps.
So from their point of view, you're a draw.
I'm a what?
You're a draw.
A draw? I would think so. I hope so. So... Zilvin, I was actually watching your YouTube channel when this popped up, haha. You have that system up and running?
No, it must have popped up for him because he must be a Twitch subscriber or something.
Oh, I get it, got it.
I don't have them linked together. I don't have them linked.
Isn't that a bit bothersome considering you are a family man? Zilvin, yes, it is. It is a bit bothersome, but my wife is, and she's a hardcore lady and she can handle being with the kids for a week.
She also knows how you make a living, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
and she knows that's how the money comes in. That's how we feed. Is we go and sell prints. So, but so I don't go on the road a ton anymore. I'm on the road. So, in 2015 or 2016, I was on the road a lot, and it was rough. probably 20 weekends out of the year I was gone, which is almost half. So that's rough. But
This is at conventions in
yeah,
North America.
going to conventions in the United States, just trying to make a living. If you guys have seen me there, hi. But it got a little bit rough, and my friend was looking for some work at the time, and I said, "Oh my gosh, do you want to go to some conventions for me?" And he said, "Okay." And now we've got a bit of a system going, so it's nice. Except he is a bearded white male, and so a lot of people think he's me. So that puts him in an odd situation every once in a while. Sometimes he like outright just says, "I'm not Jed." Sometimes
he signs autographs.
No. He'll never sign an autograph. But sometimes he'll just roll with it if somebody just wants to talk to him as if it's me. He thinks it's easier just to support their impression of what's happening.
Fantasy.
Right. Than to crush it. Especially when that happens like 50 times a day for 4 days straight at a convention, you know. After a while, he just rolls with it.
You better be careful. You get a guy who's going to steal your identity. He's in training here.
Maybe.
At some point, he's going to step in and steal you.
He's pretty good at it. He's never been to Japan, and somebody came up to him at a convention the other day and was like, "Oh my gosh, you used to live in Japan, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, where did you live?" He's like, "Oh, I'm spacing the name of the station now where I live." And then...
The phony.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, "Oh, was it this? Was it near to this?" And he's like, "Yeah, that sounds right, but I think it was just down the line from there." Anyway, he just fudged it. Yeah, it is a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope. So it depends, yeah. How often do you want to crush people's hopes versus just let them say what they want to say? Oh, so it's not Cameron who does that. It's my other friend who does that. If you ever see me at a convention, if you ever see my booth at a convention, it's not me. It's my friend. He's taller than me. I would say he's arguably more handsome than me, and he dresses better than me. So this is how I dress: hoodies and schlubby stuff. So if you see a well-dressed bearded white man, that would be my friend. But I still make it to what? Probably 40%, 30% of my own conventions. So that's pretty good considering. Okay, what color will the dog be, Dave? Asks Rekius1.
You're asking me?
Oh, okay, I can tell you. So the dog this is gonna be kind of a low color block design since we're giving it out for free, right?
Well, I have to make many, many, many of them for full revenue. So yes.
Okay.
So economics is a factor, absolutely.
Economics is a factor. So there'll be a yellow layer that goes under a lot of things, and then there will be a pink layer also. So the yellow layer will go under at the base of it for the dog. And then the pink layer will lay on top, and it'll create an orange. And so it'll be a Shiba Inu, which is a native breed of dog around here. It's a, what do they call those? A Spitz type. Like, you know, they have like the perky ears and the tail like a husky or a Malamute, but they're like little mini huskies. And they're orange like a fox, kind of. So he'll be orange. There's your long answer. Hi, Tsubasa. Hello. Dave, when you're carving these little sharp turns and stuff, how do you keep from snapping the blade?
I pray. Next question.
Okay.
No, it's a question of how far in it goes and how sharp you can get around it. You know,
Okay.
I can't explain it in words.
You don't want to go too deep on a sharp curve.
The deeper you go, of course, there's
there's more blade that's in the wood.
Exactly.
Oh, Zilvin says, sorry, Zilvin, I missed your first question. I apologize. So Zilvin says, Jed, have you ever thought about doing something similar to Dave's Choice, where you present something that inspires you or you are interested in? I could do that. That's a really good idea. I could just copy everything Dave does and whatever works. Let him mash out all the details.
No, I think he's talking about making a video presentation.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I could. I'd I'd have to do my research and things like that, but I could do that. It's interesting, you know, because when Dave does his Dave's Choice and all those things, he's doing it at nighttime, right? After work is done, more or less. That's when you film and edit.
After the shops close.
Yeah. And as a bachelor, I think it's a little bit easier for Dave to do stuff like that. But at night, I have filial responsibilities, so to do that stuff, I usually end up having to do it during the day. So doing more videos would cut into my actual drawing time. Just because I can't work every evening, you know. My wife's cool if I'll work like, you know, well, she doesn't really care, but I prefer to not work in the evenings just because, you know, if I do that for too long, I start to feel strain in my marriage because, you know, being gone all the time sucks. So, yeah, there's another long answer for your question. But I do want to do more videos. It's just a question of finding the time and doing it during work time, which I try to limit to about 50 hours a week usually. Gozy says, "Hi Dave, I discovered you on YouTube and I fell in love with these prints. They have inspired me so much and I just wanted to show my appreciation for all of you and everyone in your show my appreciation for all you and everyone in your shop does." Sorry, if I'm having trouble reading this, it's because the chat window like cuts off you guys' comments and it loses some words. So
here, you can know.
It's a little bit. Oh, okay, cool.
Two fingers.
Look at that, 2 fingers. Apple. Okay. Cool. I'm an Apple user too. I just don't know how to use my own dumb machines. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Gozy says, I fell in love with your stuff through YouTube, but I just want to show my appreciation for you guys' hard work.
Thank you very much.
Zilvin, by the way, is there any way to support the Kickstarter with any amount, even though I'm 10 days late? Yeah, Zilvin, once the prints hit our store, you could just buy them straight up. They are just slightly more expensive. I think they'll be $5 more, but well, the Giclée prints will be $5 more, but the wood prints
will be the same.
The wood prints are the exact same price. So if it's a question of timing,
you don't have to worry that you missed anything.
Yep.
I mean, we never do it like that. We never do it. You got to buy now or it's your last chance. We just never, ever, ever do
Right. We have a growing, massive catalog that actually in 10 years is going to be kind of hard to juggle. Hopefully Dave Bull's machine will be big enough to handle it by then. But yeah, everything that we've made as a group or as a party, we haven't canceled anything, have we?
No, of course not.
Everything is in continuous production. So yeah, it's always there for you. Zilvin says, yeah, okay, that's fair. So yeah, Zilvin, if you're interested in the Giclées, they do go for $40 on my web shop, but also I do sales during the holidays, so...
Actually, that reminds me, you haven't got a lot of that new stuff on your...
Not yet, no.
Not yet,
so in solidarity with the Kickstarter backers, I need to make sure that I fulfill all those orders.
Okay, before you go...
Before I put the things on the website. I just feel like that's in good faith, right, for their...
Ship those before you take new order, you mean?
Yep. They need to get exclusive first rights.
Well, your girl's doing that right now, right? As we speak?
Mm-hmm. She's working on that right now. So that's good.
I don't know if there's anybody here. We're still missing people who haven't sent in the survey yet. There's still some dozens of people that haven't replied. I don't know.
If anybody here is watching who has not replied to their Kickstarter survey, please do so.
Or if you didn't get it because it was spam.
Or if you didn't get it, email us. Yeah. Absolutely. Didactic Momo says hi. Hi, Didactic.
There are still people, who haven't sent in the survey from the very first Kickstarter campaign 5 years ago,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gave up trying to track it years ago, but we never did go to zero. We never cleared it all.
That's funny. Kickstarter's funny like that.
We message them through our own devices. We message them through the Kickstarter system, just every way and around, and no reply.
I've done that before, actually. I've backed something on Kickstarter that then I just forgot to fulfill on. I was just happy to give them money. I just never got around to
asking for your stuff.
Getting the stuff. Yeah, I've done it. I've been there. Nick Smoko says, really enjoyed the sketches on your Instagram, Jen. Thank you, Nix. Yeah, I had a good time sketching. Sometimes I wonder if I'm experiencing my time in Japan efficiently by sitting down and spending an hour just sketching. But I think there's a nice balance between doing a sketch and then walking around and enjoying the scenery and the location, and then getting that out of my system, and then doing a sketch and then getting that out of my system. I kind of oscillate back and forth. Mr. The Saxon says, are you in Japan, Jed? Yes, I'm sitting here with Dave in his studio. This window is, I'm in the same physical space as Dave. This is the bamboo ceiling of his retro building.
Boar meat restaurant.
Yeah, this building used to be a high-end boar meat restaurant. So yeah, there's that. Rylock99 says it was really hard to choose on that survey. Fair enough, sir. Rylock also says, well, things happen to people, and when you have a very large number of them, sad face. That's true. They could be going through stuff or pass away. It happens. I realized the other day, or maybe a year ago, that like on Instagram I have some followers, and a certain percentage of them are probably people who passed away, and that's kind of nuts. Ghost accounts now of people who have moved on. It's kind of crazy, but it's a thing. Zilvin, oh shoot, of course Jed has an Instagram. I'm going to follow that right now. Here, I'll type in what it is. It's there you go. That's my screen name on Instagram, Zilvin. Zilvin says, a question I should probably email, but here goes. Yeah, you don't have to email this session, guys, because I'm here to read the questions. A question, Dave, you have picked up what could be called a fan base. Is there anything that you would like for your fans to help you with if they could? Like crowd doing something.
Interesting question. There's lots of stuff that we would like to do around here that we haven't been able to do because we don't have the resources. And bit by bit, I'm learning about this new resource that we now have. That is
the fan base.
The fan base.
The group.
So the group on it. And I have been very poor so far about realizing this and trying to think of ways to get this organized, to use this power. I don't know, not power, it's the wrong word, but to enable these people to do some interesting things that would help us push our work forward. So it's there, it's waiting for me to sort of organize it and put sensible things on the table that people could actually do. Mm. It's not trivial, it's not easy,
Well, there was that idea that I said about the subscription series.
What do you mean?
It could be a giant mess, but it could be interesting.
What do you want, crowdsourcing the print ideas? I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, crowdsourcing people's photos and stuff of Japan as reference material, not as.
Oh, for a future series you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get little things that when you crowdsource the ideas for the prints, whose copyright are we talking about? You have to address issues like this.
Yeah, stuff. I guess we'd have to send everybody waivers. You have
to make it clear, yeah.
Send everybody waivers.
Who owns what? But there's lots of jobs around here that could be handled by, and I get this suggestion a lot from people over the West. Dave, why don't you get some interns in there to help you with this job that I've been talking about? I don't have time to do that. And there's no intern culture here in Japan like that. College students don't need to do that sort of thing because they've already got their jobs lined up.
There's also a visa problem.
Well, you mean if people physically coming over here, yes.
3-month limit, right?
Yeah. So it hasn't been easy to identify things that I would like to do with the crowd that they could actually do. Many people write to me saying, Dave, can I, your website is old-fashioned, needs trouble, can I program your website for you? That's a staggeringly large thing, and it's not something I want to pass on to somebody as do this for me as a favor, you know what I mean? It's actual real work. So, as I'm just mumbling a bit here, but I haven't found it easy to identify things that the friends can help us with. But
it takes some mental energy to plan all that out. Maybe you guys could crowdsource what to crowdsource. It's pretty meta, but I mean that'd be some dreams right there. Korean Gami said, I watched Dave on Tokyo 2020 the other day, and I had to ask, is the host as unpleasant as he seems? Lol. It may become a rhetorical question naturally.
I'm on air here, so I better keep quiet.
Who was the host?
I just keep quiet. Yeah, I work for NHK. He works for NHK. There's sort of rules about what you say about stuff, what you say about things. It's not only, whoever typed this, it's not only this person that is having these feelings. I know.
Okay. Koringami, let's just say he's probably not Dave's drinking buddy.
You got it. And he didn't respect what I was doing, and the feeling was absolutely.
Oh really?
Perfectly.
Like the whole
Just what I don't. I mean, as I said, there's a level of professional behavior, so I can't talk about it.
Okay. How much should I know? I want to hear about it later, though. Quiet. Didactic Momo says, I stumbled into the end of the last stream and have since been binge watching David's YouTube videos. Have been grokking so much information. Yay! Yay, Dave, your online library is
it's turning out to be a nice resource. The thing I'm curious about, I know somebody mentioned this in the shop the other day. I think we may have touched on this in a previous Twitch stream here. What Dave's legacy is. I don't really think about this so much, but I think of this as being the prints that I've made. There's 30,000 prints out there, whatever. And he said, no, that's nothing to do with it. There's only 30,000 people are going to hold your prints. It's the presentation, the YouTube videos, the book, other stuff like that. That's what's going to be living for hundreds of years. And I don't know if that's an interesting thing or not. I don't know. A bit scary.
When the internet goes 3D, they'll have to go back and retro 3D all your YouTube videos. They'll take source camera footage that was randomly gleaned all across the internet, patch it into this whole studio that you can then walk around in while Dave films his stuff.
But you saw when I did that last one, David's Choice number 5. You were there. You were helping me with the script on that. And I sit down there and I get ready, camera on, and it's good afternoon. Whatever I'm saying, and I realized maybe 200 years from now, people are going to be watching this. I shouldn't think about stuff like that too much.
You should not.
Just whatever. Just do it.
Because they will not be.
Smart ass.
I'm just saying. Think about how much content gets produced on the internet every day,
and how cream rises to the top.
It does. But
I don't know.
Okay, so say, hey Dave, Jed, and chat. Hope you guys are feeling better with those colds. Yes, we are. I think a little bit.
We are. So I slept 12 hours just now. I just got up.
Dave slept 12 hours last
crashed,
night. There's no joke, because I got him sick. He got sick from me, so my fault. Tsubasa Akai says, Dave works for NHK. Yes, Dave has an ongoing relationship with NHK where they ask him to do videos about all kinds of random stuff.
No. I'm one of the rotating hosts for the Journeys in Japan program. It's rotating. We take turns doing it. A travel program.
Have you been doing it lately?
No, as I told you, they've told me that there probably won't be any. I can't say there won't be any more, but it'll be decreasing. I'm too old. He told me straight. He said, you're too old. Can I tell you about that? The last one they did, the Kinosaki Onsen program. I said, good, I'm looking forward to the next one. When's it going to be? And he said, I'm not sure. Sort of, don't call me, I'll call you kind of a thing. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? He says, Dave, he said, we've got to juggle these hosts. And at the moment, we have too many old white guys with beards. We need more young girls to do this. So he said, actually, I can't call you for the next little while.
Like, what's her name? Gao-san? Or
I don't know the names, but they want these happy, chirpy little girls to do the program.
Nothing that's chirpy, cheapy little girls if you are one. But so many of those on TV. And Japanese TV.
But it's interesting, I live in a country where they can say that without threat of getting sued. This is America where the guy can't say, you're too old, we're not going to call you. They can't do that because he's going to get in big trouble. But here in Japan, it's an open, honest. There's PC here in their own culture, but there's not stupid PC and things like that. He thinks I'm too old. He tells me I'm too old. So nothing I do. It's like Hollywood. Women actresses get to a certain point where people don't call them anymore. There's a certain age group, and I've hit that age group here with an HK. So.
Unless you're Meryl Streep, she's gonna work to the grave, dude. But yeah, she defeated the odds. She out Julia Roberts. So anyway, let's see. Okay, Zilvin says, a place we could crowdsource. If anybody has a better name, then please let me know. There's a link here. I'm not going to click it because Dave's got all these crazy windows on his Mac and it goes all over and I don't know how to operate that. So, Dave, there's a link here from Zilvian that is worth you clicking.
Okay, I'll look later.
Choo Choo Chewy says, I would hope to pass on my love for woodblock prints to my children and watch Dave's son's YouTube videos with them. That's cool. Oh, Didactic Momo says, OMG, that's where I've seen Dave. That last Journeys in Japan. Surprise face.
Is he being sarcastic here? Whatever.
No, he saw you there. He's like, oh yes. Dave just keeps haunting your life. If you are a person interested in traditional Japanese culture, Dave will pop up.
They're on the net. NHK World has a video on demand, and 3 or 4 of those Journeys in Japan programs. I went to Kinosaki Onsen, Yamanashi Prefecture, Yamagata. There's 3 or 4. They're on their website on demand.
Oh, Zilvian says, Jed, the link I sent is a Facebook Mokuhankan fan group that was established outside of our creation. That's interesting.
A Facebook Mokuhankan fan? You mean Mokuhanga?
Mokuhankan.
Maybe it's confusing 2 things. Mokuhankan is my business. Mokuhanga
well, I'm just going to click
is generic.
I'm clicking the link.
Whatever,
just a minute. Oh crap. Facebook login.
No, I'll have to do it later.
Okay, we'll have to do it later. So then what do I do again? I hit Command down. Oh, I did it.
Okay, wait. Don't click the link. Copy the link. Do a double click on it. Copy paste the link.
And then email it to you? Or
something? No, just copy it.
Okay.
Now go up 2 windows.
Go up 2 windows.
To Safari. And we should have a Facebook window open in there. We're logged into Facebook. Maybe it's in the bottom group here.
It'll remember it. If I just go to the link, the whole browser remembers. Mokuhankan fan group. One member.
So somebody just started this.
Okay, somebody just started it. Cool. Cool, this is a first. Zilvian, is that you? Okay, let's see if I missed any comments back here. PSPN Idiot says, we need a print of Dave carving a block and Jed sketching Dave carve a block of Jed sketching Mokuhankan Inception. Let's see. Mr. the Saxon, I love your latest Dave's Choice. Tsubasa Akari says, Dave eating the crow was hilarious. I almost died. It was funny when Dave was editing the video. Every time I hit that, he chuckled to himself.
Laughing at my own jokes, you mean?
Wow. Yes, and then I made fun of him for laughing at his own jokes.
The thing is, Nakamura-san made those crows, and they kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So.
I mean, Japanese crows are no joke. They're cat size. They're no joke. They're not afraid of humans either. They'll stare you down. So I walked basically all the way across downtown Tokyo yesterday because it was my last full day.
From Ikebukuro to Asakusa.
Yeah, from Ikebukuro to Asakusa. Ikebukuro is really just a few stops away from like west downtown Tokyo. I was in northwest Tokyo. Northwest downtown Tokyo, not like the suburban stuff. And I decided to jump off the train and just walk all the way across to Asakusa. And as I was walking, I took all the back streets, and there were just ravens all over the place. And one of them landed on this this fence post and just stared me down. And I stopped and looked at it, and I was probably no more than maybe 2.5 feet away, and it was not afraid of me at all. And it was big, and then it decided to fly right past me. And every time it flapped its giant wings, you could hear the
breeze, yeah.
big animals. They look like dinosaurs, dude.
They're big creatures. God, scary. They could take out a cat, I'm sure, you know.
I've told you that, right? I've seen three crows chase a cat up a tree, and the cat was stuck there. And one crow stayed at the bottom of the trunk for when the cat tried to run down, and 2 crows landed on the branch that the cat was on and worked their way towards the cat.
Yeah.
I saw this when I was living in Japan. Gosh, 14 years ago. I was sitting there on the train platform, waiting for my train, because I was out in kind of the suburbs, and so there's a little bit more nature there. This is nature. urban animals scrounging for trash. And yeah, I saw 3 crows chase a cat up a tree, and the cat, you know, it hesitated and hesitated and hesitated, and then it just jumped from maybe 10 feet up in the tree down to the ground and took off and ran away, because the crows had some murderous plans. So that was really interesting to watch. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Koringami says, cool, I just joined the group too. Mokuhankan. Sylvian, Mokuhankan, not Mokuhangan. So with a K. Let's see here. Lazy Alexander says, Dave's It's Not Garbage video really got under my skin. I asked myself, is this garbage before I buy anything now? Yeah. Or will it soon be, right? Yeah. By the way, Dave, the Onsen episode of Journeys in Japan was lovely.
Kinosaki, that was fun. Good fun.
Yeah, Kinosaki Onsen. Where is that again?
It's up on Totori on the Nihon Sea coast.
Oh, cool. Die Hunter says, I'm suddenly awake for these streaming sessions. Smile. Chewy, Zilvian, I am assuming you're the creator of this Facebook fan group. Just letting you know that I've requested to join. Koringami says, that crow was trying to avenge his brother eaten by Dave. Lol. And the worst part is they flattened it first. It was torture before death.
Am I in trouble now? Should I start having nightmares about this?
Sewasha says, at the moment I unfortunately don't have the resources to buy a print from your store. Still, I'd like to support you guys in a way. If there's any way to donate a small amount to Dave or the shop itself, ? This is not a plug. It is simply information, Dave. Dave resists self-promotion through Twitch. But Sewasha, Dave does have a Patreon account. What's your Patreon account, Dave?
Mokuhankan.
Oh, Mokuhankan. So, here, if you go onto Patreon and search for Mokuhankan or David Bull, which I just put into the chat window, you can find his Patreon page if you're interested in supporting him at any amount on a monthly basis. It is massively helpful. End of plug.
Yeah, it's going to be changing a little bit. We set that up with a nominal idea of getting the manager, and it's worked. Matt Cameron is now here, and his first few months have been paid for by Patreon. So we're now going to go back to the Patreon people and ask if we can repurpose the funds for the next few months. And before I can do that, I got to wait till I hear from Moriki-san. And if that comes through, then that's it. The Patreon money is going to be used to buy Mulberry. Well, you can talk about it if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me answer some questions really quick, and then we'll get to that. I just want to make sure everybody's being taken care of here. What kind of wood is he making this beautiful art with? Everybody's answering. Crowdsourced answer. Excellent. Mountain cherry wood. It's a Japanese cherry tree that grows in the mountains, and it makes the wood a certain consistency. Just being exposed to the elements at that altitude makes a different kind of wood. And is it an actual like breed or species compared
It's a
to?
species, yeah.
It's a species. Okay.
The normal decorative cherry trees, the wood for those is too open pore, and it leaves marks and striations in the colors.
So it's not the same cherry trees that you see lining the streets in Japan in the springtime. It's a different breed or species. HB Thingy says, I wonder if it's okay if we contact NHK and tell them how much we enjoy your hosting duties in Journeys in Japan.
Whatever, I guess they get fan mail. I have no idea.
If you guys would like to,
direct,
sure.
If anybody, please don't get me in trouble. Don't write to them saying Dave told us that you're not going to hire us because he's too old. I mean, that's too much to say,
right?
But yeah, fan mail is fan mail. Whatever.
Leave out the inside information about the ageism, but otherwise, yeah, fan mail is fan mail. Maybe it could make some ripples. So yeah, if anybody watches Last Week Tonight, you know how they do like a call to arms and have everybody. They'll have everybody send a letter to this person or send this to that person.
I don't think we should do that.
We don't have to do that, but if anybody feels like they would like to contact Journeys in Japan,
whatever, if they've enjoyed it, they say so. Sure, nothing wrong there.
Okay. Let's see. Hey, Jed Dave, when are the new holiday season prints coming out? Says Mahler Simph. That's what this is,
the
right?
gift print? No, this is the New Year card, the owl print. That's why I'm going to Shimoy-san's workshop this morning. As soon as you're gone, I'm out of here. I'm going to go and visit Shimoy-san, the printer. He's done the first batch, and they're not as good as they should be. So the idea was that he did the first batch for us, and they should have been on the website right now, ready to go. It's turned out they're not as good as they should be, and I got to go over there this morning and figure out why, and can they be fixed, and what's going to happen from here on in.
I saw the batch come in the mail, actually. I saw Dave open it, and he was disappointed, so...
And actually, plan B right now is, that first batch may or may not be fixable, but I don't trust him to do the next batch, so it looks like now that I'm going to do it. I'll be making paper wet tonight for 100 sheets, or maybe even a couple of 100 sheets of that thing, and I will be doing the first batch of gift prints that are going out. So. Okay,
so you need to, next time you test him with something, it'll be something that's not time sensitive, huh?
Well, we did. We tested him, a month ago with a normal job override,
and it went well.
It came back very, very well. So I thought I was good to go with this guy.
Maybe something happened.
So actually, the page is open now, but it says on the page, we can't deliver yet because the first batch is not back from the printer. But I have got to sort that out because we are now running out of time. Christmas is coming. What's this?
That's so great. Oh my gosh. Zilvian says, Jed, check out the Facebook group's image header, the header at the top. Dude, you gotta see this.
As in right now, or?
They did it. They did the David Bowl Super Saiyajin beard.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. What?
He's over 9,000. That's fabulous.
Is this parody or what's going on here?
It's love. It's born of love. It's awesome. I freaking love it. Oh my gosh.
Do I have to know about this?
Super Saiyajin. DSavage94 says, when I first found Dave's YouTube channel and the Mokuhankan online store late last year, one of the prints that really jumped out to me was the one I want to get. The one I want to get is the Ushigome Kaguruzaka print from Dave's choice number 5. And I'm over the moon that it's getting reprinted.
Well, but as I mentioned, I have no idea. They may not be good enough. This guy, Itakura-san, the guy they've asked to do it, in the past, he turned in very good work. He was a good printer. He's now very old, and he's just decaying, and he doesn't give much of a shit anymore. So I'm not sitting here hoping they will come back ready to be sold. Okay. They may not be good enough. I think I tried to say that in the video.
Okay, DSavage94, we will see. The printer is getting old.
I'm really frustrated because we don't have enough ability to do that here yet.
Tsubasa Akari, I wish I could watch the NHK stuff here in America. Any thoughts about that, Dave?
Pardon me?
I wish I could watch the NHK stuff here.
It's on demand. It's on NHK World. I know if I had a minute now, I'd go on the link. If you search NHK World, if you just did a search for NHK World Kinosaki, that'll turn up the video from that Kinosaki onsen. They're on demand.
Okay.
They keep them up for a year or a year and a half.
Hi, Cameron.
Morning.
All right, Tsubasa, there you go. NHK World Kinosaki. Search for that, and maybe it'll help you. Okay, look at this, Cameron. Somebody started a Facebook fan page for Dave, and they gave him
The Dragon Ball beard.
Isn't that awesome?
That is something.
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's the best. It's the best thing.
Yeah.
Where's the Jed Henry fan page?
No, I'm not. I just draw pictures, Dave. You're a special person. You're a minor genius.
Why do you keep emphasizing this word minor? I mean, every day we go through this.
I'll get out of here.
Hey, wow. I thought Mokuhankan would count for both you guys. Jed's asking for a fan page now. No fan pages. Just let it be Dave. Let it be Dave. He's awesome. I'm Dave's big fan. Dave is kind of my boss. Let's be honest.
I don't think that's a good way to describe it.
Okay, fine. He kind of calls the shots. He absolutely calls the shots.
He absolutely.
I'm not going to whisper it. Okay, Nick Smoko says, "Oh, talking about websites. Dave has so many websites, it's confusing."
It is indeed. I'm well aware of it. They've just grown over 21 years now. It's on the net, and it's totally, absolutely confusing. Needs to be fixed, and I don't know where to start. Most of them are not mobile friendly. It's absolute chaos. That's what we're talking about. People are asking crowdsourcing to help, but that's too gigantic of a job. It just needs to be, hired out, or a staff member to be hired specifically to do that. Oh, no. He's woken up, he has a computer, and it's going to start its backup now. So we're going to start seeing.
Okay, guys.
Watch the dropped frames. If you start seeing dropped frames, we'll have to go and kill that thing out there. So
0.1% is right now.
it should be 0. Is it starting to build up?
It's 0.1%, which isn't bad.
No, but it should be 0. So.
Rylock99 says, "Hate to say it, but it needs to be started over from scratch as far as web design."
So I think so. Absolutely.
Yeah, Dave agrees. It's amazing, honestly, with everything that Dave does. Like, he built all those websites himself.
They made sense in 1996. It just doesn't make sense now.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll get there. Thanks, Rylock. Maybe it's just time to bite the bullet, and maybe it's time to spend some capital on that before the end of the year. Nail down a contract and unload some capital.
Yeah, the problem isn't so much money. The problem is deciding what to do. What on earth do I do with all that stuff? I don't know.
What if you take an AWOL day and just go sit in a cafe and just think?
On the list. What's the drop frames? Is it building up?
No, still 0.1%. We're good. Terrell Lundix. Hello, chat. Hello, Terrell Lundix.
Nearly done on the dog here, sir.
Yeah. Look at that cute little doggy. We just have to do her her head and her... Oh, hi to Alex. My name is Jed Henry. I am Dave's partner in Mokuhankan. No, in Ukiyo-e Heroes. It's kind of blurred, lines between the endeavors. But, yeah. If you've ever seen any of the video game designs, I'm the person who designed those. And I am visiting Dave in Japan right now. And, yeah. Lynn Ivy says, I'm amazed at how Dave keeps juggling all those tasks every day. Me too, Lynn. Me too. This man works harder than any other human being I've ever met. So, yeah. Zillion, I think that's great. The Mokuhankan name is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, thank you for making that fan page. That's fun. And I love the header. It's awesome. I want t-shirts.
Well, that reminds me now. You wore the t-shirt the other day. You had a rickshaw cart, and you showed it, and I think you didn't see the chat after that. There was like 100, whatever.
We want the
Everybody,
shirt.
I want the shirt. I want the
All
shirt.
right. I'll make the shirt.
Well, just to let you know. I mean,
Sorry.
I know that when you do these conventions, the t-shirt business is tough, carrying around all the different sizes and stuff like that. But maybe one of the online fulfillment companies, I don't know, where you don't have to stock anything. You just send in the designs.
Dear ASMR Abby says, I'm sure you've mentioned, but how long are you in town, Jed? In town by Tokyo. I leave
in a few minutes.
I leave in a few minutes, yeah. I'll be heading to the airport quite soon, actually. So, yeah.
Kids are waiting.
Catch me on the internets.
Family is waiting, right?
I'm excited to see my family again. Maybe I'm a little bit homesick. Just a touch, though. Not too bad. Japan is intoxicating. It even dulls the pain of homesickness. Okay. Zilvian, I'm going to go check out the header now. That's awesome. That's awesome. He made it much more clear now, Dave. Here.
What is this?
It's perfect. It's great. This is awesome. I love me the internet. Zilvian, that's fabulous. Kevin, 6495, saw you guys booth at Comic-Con San Diego last summer. It was super cool. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Kevin.
I saw a bit of it this morning just before we started this.
Rudeline, everybody, can you guys can you post the fan page link again? Dave does almost look like Master Roshi if he had hair. If Master Roshi had hair.
If I had hair?
If Master Roshi had hair.
You've got it.
People keep making comments that I look like one of the characters from the Star Wars movies. I forget what they keep saying.
Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, in one of the episodes.
Yeah, you look like Luke Skywalker episode 4.
I haven't seen those things.
At least you have his haircut. I can see that.
The one I've seen, I saw the original one back when it first came out in 1977 or something, and since then I haven't seen any of the others.
Here's a good question. From Sewasha. I was wondering, how long did it take for Dave to start making a living at his art? I mean, from when did he know he would want to pursue wood carving as his main thing in life?
I story about a lot of stuff's on my newsletter now. I've got all those backstories about, how I got started and when I got started. It's sort of a semi-autobiography.
That might be great material for some more YouTubeage.
As the years go by, yeah. But to try and answer the same question, when I quit the job in Canada to come to Japan, I didn't know that I'd be able to make a living at this. It was a hobby for me. I was just fooling around as a hobby. What I knew I would be able to do is the usual thing. I'd be able to teach English to pay the rent, and then I could fool around with the printmaking and see what happened. And just the raw numbers. We came in 1986. I'd been making some prints as a hobby. But we come in the summer of 1986. And of course, I opened an English class in my home right there in the fall of '86. And the prints started selling. The first prints that were saleable was the spring of 1989. So it was 3 years of teaching English to make a living, making wooden toys, doing translations. There was lots of stuff going on through 1986, 7, 8. 1989, prints started selling, but not enough to make a living. And in 1991, I shut down everything else. So it was 5 years from landing at the airport here to flying completely as a stable printmaker.
At what time were you a single man again?
By then I was. She'd left. We
Okay.
came here. She'd left just about the same time, 1991.
Okay.
So her leaving was the impetus. I had to close the English school because I couldn't take care of my kids and teach English. So my wife leaving after being here together for 5 years was the final kick. Whoops, there it goes. Forget the English anymore. Now do prints. And it was like jumping off a cliff and it went like this. And they can't see the gesture.
Okay, so Dave just did this. He just went. It was like jumping on off a cliff and going like this.
Yeah, just before hitting bottom. Just before hitting bottom, it sort of caught enough traction and caught enough edge. But the 5 years, from 5 years from getting off the airplane to making a living as a printmaker.
And that's with 2 kids in tow.
Yeah, 2 kids, of course.
And he was a single father with 2 children in a foreign land.
Yeah.
Without the internet. Without the
internet, having a ton of fun. So.
Better physical resources, less intellectual resources, right? I mean, like you had access to better wood back then, better.
Oh, sure, that's irrelevant to this thing.
I'm just saying, like.
There was motivation. The kids, feed your kids, get going, do this thing,
I freaking love that story. I mean.
But the point is, on my newsletter, all these stories are in great length. There's that sort of autobiography there.
On your newsletter?
On the newsletter. So
what? Which of your 7 websites is that on?
It's on website number 97.7. I don't remember. Don't know.
Is there just something we could Google, like?
Whatever. When we're nearly finished the stream here, I'll be coming over there to help. So at that time, I'll put the link into the stream.
So anybody interested in completely reading the chronicle of Dave's adventures in Japan starting in 1986?
Or actually, no. Probably some people in the stream already know about this, so they can put the link in. It's my old newsletter. It's called Hyakunin Issho, my old newsletter. People are probably linking it already as we speak. What do you type? If you get it wrong, it won't work.
Hyakunin Issho.
ISSHO.
Yeah, I got it. I speak your language, man.
Yeah, whatever.
I couldn't write it in kanji if I had to, but I could.
So people are already probably linking it
now. Real Lundick says, that must have been scary as hell. Did you ever just have like anxious?
We were having fun. No.
Did you ever have like anxiety attacks about it?
I don't do that. I don't do scary. I just do get going, Whatever. I don't know what to say. And people say it was all courageous stuff. It wasn't courageous. We were just living, Just live. Just do stuff,
That's insane. Yeah, that's insane. I can look back on 10 years ago and be like, oh yeah, this was rough, that was rough.
Remember you? I remember after we started the first Kickstarter campaign, this is 5.5 years ago, whatever, one Skype conversation, you told me you'd just been fired. Right, that place you'd been working for doing textbook illustrations or whatever it was.
Ate me up.
And you were like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I'm like, this is the best news I've heard all week. Really, literally, the best news I've heard all year. So yeah. I'm trying to be happy and dance, and you're sitting there. Should I jump in front of a train now or wait till tomorrow?
That's true. So after the Ukiyo-e Heroes campaign 5 years ago, I got laid off from my work. And it was after the campaign closed and was a giant success, and we had a brand and everything was going great. And then I got laid off, and for some reason, just emotionally, it hit me really hard. And it's so funny. I Skyped Dave about it, and he's trying his hardest not to laugh in my face.
Because finally, get out of the way of that job stuff and get busy making nuclear heroes. You know, the whole world wants this thing.
And
what
now,
more do you need?
I never ever want to work for anybody ever again. Even if it means stress, even if it means anxiety attacks, I'd rather just do my own thing.
Well, there you are. It's just courageous. People say it's courageous. Whatever, you just do what you have to do to get going. You know?
I think also there's a breed of person that just has to do his own thing, and there's a breed of person that likes stability, and I don't think that there's any better.
But you needed a kick in the boot. I mean, they had
I
to
did
fire
need a
you,
kick
you
in
know,
the boot. I did need a kick in the boot. So anyway, my point is, I don't think that there's
a single best answer.
A single best answer. You know, there are pluses and minuses, and also there's just different personality types of how to live your life.
And also at different stages, how many kids you got,
right.
all these things, of course.
Yeah. Zilvian says, Jed, are you a lot better at vocal Japanese than written Japanese? Absolutely.
All of us are.
Yeah.
That's the way we all
That's
learn,
like,
of course.
That is like the cliche among foreigners living in Japan is that speaking comes way easier than writing.
Of course, you have to work at the writing. You have to go and study and sit down.
Unless you're like university trained, in which
that's
case,
what I said, like Cameron studied.
Right. So Cameron has not a master. So he has an undergraduate in Japanese, and so he can read.
I still speak much better than I write.
Okay, Cameron also says he speaks better than he writes.
But he writes much better than people like me and Jed, because he's sat at the desk and done the step 1, step 2, practice. If you don't do that, you're dead. You know?
Right. And I lived here and I studied kanji like a beast. I probably came out of living here for 2 years knowing probably about 500 characters. That's
knowing to recognize or knowing to write, because it's a totally different story.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, I wasn't reading and writing every day though, so probably just recognize. Actually, writing I could probably do like 200-ish, but you know, I got back to the United States and I started studying art, and I didn't have time for Japanese, and that just quickly went because you don't use it, you know. Okay, thank you, Kurimzon. Thank you for posting the Hyakunish Isho newsletter. Thank you. So it's up there now, Dave. So now you guys can pour through that and know all of Dave's darkest secrets. Shopper Steph 1, following your dream may sound romantic, but it had to be scary as hell. I think Dave handled it because he's a weirdo, but I think other normal people probably would have thought it scary. Sewasha says, oh well, now that I know I can't just give up pursuing a career in art. Thanks, Dave.
What's that?
Oh wow, well, now I know that I can't just give up pursuing a career in art. Thanks, Dave. So I think that...
I'm not sure I get there.
So Washa, I think that it's always important, no matter what you do, is to keep your eyes open about, am I having satisfactory progress that's getting me closer to my goals? If you can be realistic with yourself and see yourself doing well enough to actually be competing with professionals, because that's what you need to look at. Can you survive in a market where you're actually competing with other professionals? And so if you can be honest with yourself and look at other professionals and say, I am within reach, then I think that is a good way to go.
Well, you're talking about the Jed side, the design side. Is that where you are with all the different
design or wood printing? I mean,
no. I have no competitors. I don't have any competition.
Hey, you do. You have the dead people.
Well, that's in my mind. But there's tens of thousands of people who can draw kind of like what you do. You're selling myself. You're doing that yourself. But I have no competition. It's a self-established goal.
So okay, can you see yourself working competently, and also then do you see good reception from critics, friends who are honest with you? If you do art exhibitions, how does it go?
No, because there's nobody out there who understands what they're seeing. This is a really interesting point for us. Mm-hmm. When I was still doing exhibitions, making 100 poets, whatever, somebody would come in the room, they'd look at the first print, 5-10 seconds, move to the second print, look at it, 5-10 seconds. By the time they got down, their legs don't stop moving, they're just strolling by, And cynical guy here would think, what did you just see there? I spent like a month making each one of those things, and you spent 10 seconds on it. You didn't see anything of what's actually in there. Mm-hmm. So just before people get angry at me about this, it's my responsibility to try and teach these people and show these people what is beautiful about these things, what I did that's really good, Like that with the David's Choice. That's the point of that
Right.
David's Choice already. Show
So,
them,
like,
look what's in there.
At an exhibition, you would want to have maybe your
David's Choice was in the exhibitions. I used to do that. David's Choice, the beginning of it was 10 prints I would choose from my own little collection, put them in the exhibition together with the prints I had made, along with panels explaining what they were about. So my point is, because nobody else understands this stuff as well as I do, there's nobody competent to criticize it, but I want to teach them all and show them about this so that they could then do that. I mean, if I was trying to get a master's degree in this, I can't, because nobody else can criticize me. Nobody else can take my thesis apart.
Right.
So sorry, I'm rambling a bit.
No, it's okay.
But you know.
Yeah, so making a career in the arts, there's a million ways to do it, but you need to keep an open eye to like how things are going as you progress. I think you do need to be realistic with yourself, right? I mean, I just think it's important to keep your eyes open to see if you're making progress in a way that is going to help you, right? I don't know. That's my opinion on the matter. I don't tell anybody just go follow your dream at all costs.
No, that's terrible advice.
I think it's terrible advice. Like throw away family, throw away health, throw away, things like that. Follow your dream. I feel like that is a fallacy that Hollywood throws at us.
That you will succeed.
Yeah, I think it's a lie that Hollywood flings around, and I think that caring people would give better advice. That's my thought. I mean, it's a good drink to drink down, but
it's funny coming from two guys who followed their dream.
Well, but I mean, like I always said, okay, is this working? It's a business too. I mean, like if you have to make a product and put it in people's hands if you're gonna eat your bowl of cereal in the morning or whatever,
Teach your kids. Yeah.
So it's a balance. Okay. Guys, I posted a poll in the group about suggesting for a better name for the fan page. Fill in if you have any ideas. Zilvian says the only thing right there right now is Dave's cheerleaders, which means I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Okay. Eric 10-321 says, I suppose being fluent in Chinese makes kanji the easiest part of Japanese for me, strangely enough. Absolutely, Eric. So my daughter is taking Mandarin right now. She's 8, and all of my children, if things go according to plan, all of my children will be in Mandarin immersion, elementary school and middle school.
It's back in Utah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. My little town, it's a small town, but every elementary school has an immersion program, which is kind of like my main reason for wanting to stay there. Also, the mountains are pretty. But I love the language immersion programs, and so my daughter is 8, and she's learning to speak Mandarin, and she's speaking it pretty darn well. And my next daughter and my next son will be in the same program. Anyway, they say, hey Dad, you speak Japanese. Why can't we learn Japanese? And I say, well, I can't teach you very well because I'm not a native speaker. All of their teachers are native Chinese Mandarin speakers. So I told them, if you just learn Chinese, you'll pick up Japanese pretty easy. I think that Japanese is...
Well, from the written point of view, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Again, and the speaking part is the part that foreigners just figure out. I mean, you get a couple of, grammar books, figure out some grammar, and then you figure out some slang. You remember some vocab. You got yourself a language.
Are they learning written Chinese? They're doing a brush.
Yeah. Every day she comes home, she has to write kanji across the page over and over and over. I know, hanzi. That's what they call it in Chinese.
Brush or pencil, or what's the tool?
Pencil. So they're still going to be foreigners. They're not getting an actual naturalized Chinese education, but yeah.
The thing about learning characters like this, they're learning how to draw. I mean, that's art.
Yeah.
Drawing, filling that box
it's all
with those well-shaped characters.
Yeah, it's not easy. Japanese people have insanely impeccable handwriting a lot of the time because kanji develops their minds in a way that's just so exacting. It's demanding. Forces people to think in a spatial way, right? Okay. I think that also might account for a lot of the stylistic differences between manga and like American comics, is the way that just elementary school kids are brought up writing kanji in school. If you see some of those like manga backgrounds, they're insanely detailed, and that's kind of the manga style, right? Is a stylized foreground character with a very almost photorealistic screen tone background done in screen tone and ink. But I think that patience and that dedication to detail and craft is partly engendered by just the Chinese writing style that is in Japan that these kids learn from a young age. It just results in a different approach to a lot of things. So anyway, there you go. Tsubasa Akari says, Jed says in 2017, Dave handled it because he is a weirdo. Okay, I can't imagine how hard it is to learn kanji from scratch. Like anything, Eric, I mean, yeah, it's probably hard, but just gotta do it. Says a guy who didn't manage to do it very well. Oh, Koringami says, Dave, what about doing a series of videos where you teach us what to look for to identify a good print when we face one?
Well, this is sort of what David's Choice is coming to be, bit by bit. There's one of those, I took one of my Kuchie prints and said, look what's in here. It's all stuff you could see, but nobody was noticing. And I point out with my finger, look at this, look at this, look at this. So I can't do it in a generic sense, but I'll just do it over the years with this print and this print and this print. I failed a little bit, this last one, these two things, and there's been some gentle criticism on the YouTube channel that I spent too much time with the camera on my face and not enough time with the camera on the actual pictures themselves. And that's an absolute valid criticism. I'm going to try and find a better balance next time.
Yeah. Right. So more David's Choice, more focusing on
the actual images.
The actual images, better, tighter camera angles, or zoom levels for that. Koringami, also to answer your question, I think that a good print, quote, a good print, I mean like value in art, at least in terms of like as a collector, what you're interested in, is gonna result in just what you're interested in too. I mean, some people gravitate to like the bird and fruit or bird and plant images, bird and flowers. I mean, some people gravitate to landscapes. Some people gravitate to kabuki depictions.
But I get the general question: what is it about prints?
The actual
that makes
execution
them so attractive, as opposed to just the pictures themselves.
Right.
And that's what David's Choice is over the years going to be about, bit by bit. I'm sorry to put the camera too much in my face in the last couple of examples. I'll try and fix that.
To Real Lundick says, I'm much too prone to complacency, I think. It feels more comfortable to do stuff I can do than challenge myself to learn new stuff. That's fair, I feel like there's a trade-off when you're always challenging yourself to do stuff. At least from my point of view, sometimes it leads to a lifestyle that's a little bit hectic and maybe a little bit emotionally fraught for me. Like trying to pull something out of the ether, create content out of the void is sometimes a little bit daunting. And
a little bit melodramatic, are we?
I'm not being melodramatic unless my legitimate emotional state is melodramatic, and you dismiss it. Anyway, my wife has to throw a bucket of water on the dumpster fire that is my emotional state sometimes, because of the lifestyle I've chosen and how my temperament reacts to making something out of nothing. I don't know. Everybody has their own journey. My point is, the Real Lundicks, good for you. Good job having a stable life. I applaud you. Zilvian says, a question for Dave. What's your opinion about the Bob Ross of woodblock printmaking tag that's been put on you?
When it started to happen, 4 or 5 years ago, I started to see this. I didn't know what it was because when I was growing up, for the most part, we didn't have a TV. So I didn't know what the reference was to Bob Ross, whatever, who's this. I ignored it at first, and after it came back again and again and again, I thought I better find out what this is. So I went to YouTube and realized, oh, that guy, yeah, I think I'd heard about that before. I watched a few on YouTube. And I get it. I get the comparison. I know I don't have any negative feeling about Stone. He's obviously a very nice, quote, nice person, doing what he's doing.
An astute businessman.
Whatever. I don't know much about that in the background. You can't tell that from what you're seeing on videos or whatever.
A unique styling of hair and beard.
Whatever.
I think that's obvious.
The one thing that unfortunately is, and many people ask, Dave, why don't you do, actual Bob Ross type videos? And this particular thing that I'm doing, making woodblock prints, well, as you see, I've been carving this one out for weeks. It doesn't work.
It's not the same.
I can't do the whole thing start to finish in 30 minutes.
Yeah, that guy just pulls stuff out, right? But it's totally different. You do one thing painstakingly in order to be able to produce many prints quickly, whereas he quickly produces one painting and then that's it. Yeah. You get your painting.
But I have no problems with the comparison. No. I didn't think of this. It just generally, I'm a quiet, peaceful kind of person, I guess. So I don't know. I'm certainly not trying to do that. Let's see if I can try and make a video like Bob Ross. I didn't even think of that. Of course.
It's just that history rhymes.
I mean, the art he made, it's, I know as far as the global art criticism is concerned, he's not looked on this seriously at all.
No.
It's a folk art or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me at all. What I do too. I'm not looking for elevation into the ranks of, whatever. We don't do that.
Well, it's funny because both your artwork and his artwork are for the masses. I mean, like,
it's not pretentious.
No, it's not pretentious. No. Like, you're not that guy walking down a museum corridor looking at,